teacher Soumi. This is the first video tutorial of your analog electronics lab, and today we will be discussing about amplifiers. You can see that this is the figure of a class A amplifier. We will be discussing about this circuit. See a closer look of the circuit. This is my circuit using BJT, and the three terminals of BJTs are base, emitter and collector, and these are four resistance have been connected to give necessary biasing. I recommend you to see the PDF first, the document I have sent, and then supportive audio file, that is explanatory audio file, to understand the PDF how it's working. To you see first, you understand the circuit, then you proceed for the video. This is the waveform. Okay, now let me construct the circuit first. Let me construct the circuit and show you the nature of the output, input and output waveforms. These are the components we need for this experiment. This is BJT. See, it is marked as CL100. CL100 means it is NPN transistor. And let me show you how you will determine the base, emitter and collector of the circuit. See, you can see a little notch. This is the little notch. The terminal very close to the notch, this terminal, the closest terminal of the notch is emitter, and you can see two black attachments and one white attachment there. That white attachment is collector and the rest one is base. This way you can determine the terminals of a BJT, and these are different values of resistors to provide the necessary biasing to the amplifier circuit. These are input and output capacitors. These are polarized capacitors. See, it has polarity positive and negative. See, it has a long leg and a short leg. Long leg is positive and short leg is negative. This is wires. This is signal generator. This is our input supply. That is, I have written there in V in. This will provide the input signal, and we will see the output in CRO. Okay, now let us construct the circuit on the breadboard. This is the breadboard, the breadboard system used to construct your circuits in lab. Now let us construct the circuit first and see the nature of the circuit. We have constructed the circuit. This is the circuit. The circuit has been made according to the diagram with necessary biasing. Actually, potential divider biasing has been used to construct, and this is the input and output waveform. See the waveform. This is input sinusoidal wave, and the output is coming by actually in the output waveform you are seeing an 180-degree phase shift is there with respect to the input. This is the property of class A amplifier, that the output is phase shifted by 180 degree, and the output voltage of the circuit is greater than the input voltage. Now in amplifier we can see a term, that is voltage gain or gain. In this circuit we will be talking about voltage gain only. This is the voltage gain, that is denoted AV, A suffix V, that is V0 by Vn. This is nothing but the ratio of output and input voltage. If the input and output voltage is same, then the voltage gain is unity, and if the mm, output voltage is greater than the input voltage, then we have amplified the signal successfully. And if the output voltage is lower than the input voltage, then it is not an amplifier, it is an attenuator. So there must be some increasing voltage value in the output when you are designing an amplifier circuit. Okay, now let me show you the circuit. The circuit I have constructed, these are the 4 resistance and 2 capacitors, input and output. This is signal generator. We have given input to the circuit to signal generator, and here it is our output. The bigger one is output and this is input signal. See, the input signal has a lower amplitude than the output, and here is a 180-degree phase shift you can see. See the phase shift of 180 degree, the phase shift of 180 degree in input and output. Now here I have taken 1 kilohertz of frequency, and one thing, the amplitude will be amplified at the output end, but the frequency will remain same. This is a faithful amplification. This is called a faithful amplification, and that's why we need a suitable biasing, that the shape of the input output signal and the frequency of the output signal remains same with respect to the input. So the frequency will not be changed. The frequency for both the input and output signal is 1 kilohertz, and see the volt per division is 1 volt for both the channels. So for both the channels it is 1 volt, and if you analyze the input voltage, that is 1 plus 1, it is 2 volt, and output voltage is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 7 and 2 small divisions. So volt per division is 1, so 2 small division means 0.4, so 7 plus 4, it is 7.4 volt. So we have 2 volt of input signal peak to peak value and 7.4 volt of output signal peak to peak value. Now if I calculate the gain, it is V0 equal to 7.4 volt, and V in equal to 2 volt. So AV is equal to 7.4 by 2, it is 3.7. 3.7. So getting a voltage gain of 3.7, and that is suitable for this circuit. Okay, now we have to see the bandwidth of the circuit. What is bandwidth? Bandwidth is a range of frequency where the circuit works in its active region. That is, the faithful amplification takes place in active region. We have to find the region. In the total region of the amplification circuit, you can say, it is divided into 3 parts, that is cutoff, active and saturation. In cutoff region, no amplification takes place because current just starts flowing through the circuit. In active region, amplification happens, and in saturation region, no Actually, it is the limit of the maximum limit of the amplification, and after saturation limit no amplification takes place. The output signal becomes distorted. Okay, so we need to find out the active region of the circuit. So for that we need to find out the bandwidth of the circuit. So let's check how to find out the bandwidth. We will be increasing our frequency from the input side, and we'll check the output voltage. See, for bandwidth, calculation, we need to increase and decrease the input frequency and check the output voltage. Now, if I decrease my frequency first, it is 1 kilohertz. So let's fix it in 1 hertz, only 1 hertz. So now you can see the output only. This is the sinusoidal nature. See the output, still uh, the volt per division is 1 volt, and the output is very low. As the input is very low, input frequency is very low, the output voltage is also very low. And you know, in lower frequency range output becomes low, and in mid frequency range output is in the maximum range, and in higher frequencies output becomes low again. So we will get this type of curve. In lower frequency range the voltage is increasing, and then in mid frequency it is constant, and in higher frequency it will be decreasing order. It will be increasing in lower frequency, increasing, constant, and decreasing in higher frequency. And to find out bandwidth we need a graph between our voltage gain and frequency applied. So this, if this is the maximum AV, we will get in mid frequency range the constant value of the output voltage. Then how to find out? You have to multiply 0.707 to the maximum AV, and suppose if the maximum AV is 4, then 0.707 makes it 2.8, near about 2.8. So you need to point out that value, that vertically in 2.8, then draw a perpendicular to the horizontal line, then mark it as FL, that is low frequency, and join that line to the higher frequency, decreasing level. And then and from that point you need another perpendicular to the horizontal line, and mark it as FH, that is higher frequency, and to find out the formula of bandwidth is FH minus FL. So when you plot the graph properly you can find the bandwidth. This is the way to find out bandwidth. Now I have set my frequency in 1 hertz, and this is the output voltage. See the sinusoidal pattern. As the frequency is very low, so this is appearing like this on the CR screen. You can actually see the sinusoidal pattern, and when I increase the voltage value you will not see the sinusoidal pattern, you will see the graph only. So let me make it 5 hertz. See, now it is moving very fast, 5 hertz. It is oscillating 5 times in a second. So when I put this frequency in 5 hertz, the amplitude voltage of the output voltage of the circuit becomes higher. So it is in increasing order. So 1 hertz to 5 hertz it will go increasing order. so the voltage is increasing. Now make it 10 hertz. See, the voltage is increasing. The line is more taller than the previous one, and if you want to see the see the sinusoidal pattern, let me show you the input voltage also. 12. See, you can see two sinusoidal waves here. One is bigger and one is shorter than the output. The shorter one is uh, input voltage. Now if we increase the voltage 100 hertz, see, for 100 hertz, see the two sinusoidal waves. This is our output, this is our input, and the bigger one is output. So the output voltage is increasing. Input voltage is in 2 volt and output voltage is in 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 7.2 almost. Now make it 1 kilohertz. In 1 kilohertz frequency, you have seen it before. In 1 kilohertz frequency it is 7.4. now it is coming 7.2. okay, 7.2, 7.4. now make it 100 kilohertz. See, for 100 kilohertz frequency, the output voltage is now decreasing. Check it. 1 2 3 4 5. It is 5.4 or 5.6 this way. It is coming. Now for 200 kilohertz, it is decreasing. It is lower than 5 volt of 300 kilohertz. See, the output voltage is decreasing. Now it is sorry. Now it is almost 4 volt. 1 2 3 4 volt, almost 4 volt. Now 400 kilohertz, it is about 3 volt. 500 kilohertz, 1 megahertz. In 1 megahertz, see, the voltage is actually the voltage is decreasing and it is lower than the 2 volt, so lower than the input voltage. So this way we can find our bandwidth. So this is the experiment of class A amplifier. I'll be uploading this video to the classroom. And again, I suggest you to read the PDF document, listen to the audio file that which will be describing the PDF file, and then you go for the video. This is only the procedure to make the circuit and check the outputs, but the understanding of this circuit you will find in the PDF and the audio. Thank you.